One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart steel and a spirit unbroken, he rides on two wheels ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow, he takes his step, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he pays his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
It is a happy Topless Taco Tuesday morning. Everybody, let's get it. It feels ultra good to be a G. Hopefully everyone's enjoying themselves, enjoying their morning. I definitely know that we are. We have a big news morning this morning. VP Vance in Israel, as it's in the title. We're not going to cover too much of him because there's not too much coverage of him yet over there in Israel, but it is happening. And then Russia-Ukraine war latest. We do have some updates on that. Of course, as you guys know, it is October 21st of 2025, meaning it is the 21st day of the government shutdown. And then, of course, more. Yes, we always have more. So the way that we're going to start this off is yesterday we reported that Trump was meeting with the Australian Prime Minister. And for what? For why? You know what I mean? And so I actually have those answers for you guys. Not only them meeting up and signing some deals and all this shit, we're going to talk about those deals, hence why we're going to bring it up. And then we have a ruling from yesterday. Trump can deploy troops to Portland. Court rules. Of course, the federal courts have upheld, the truth and the law. And then we have Midtown Manhattan box truck crash, at least 9 people injured. A very interesting story that I actually watched happen yesterday, almost live. It was right when it was coming out. And I guess this box truck driver didn't hit any other person in traffic. They hit a parked car, and then that parked car went flying, and then it injured 9 other people. Very, very brutal. Then we have from yesterday as well, Atlanta airport scare, man with gun arrested after making threats. Very, very interesting. Then we have George Santos speaks out, apologizes after release from prison. And then stuff that is happening today, Trump doubtful Ukraine can defeat Russia amid talks, which is something very important. I even asked you guys a poll in the chat. Will we see the end of Russia-Ukraine war during Trump's term? And I think that is a very good question, and I'd love to see what you guys say in the chat. So far, it's 65% yes, 35% no, so very interesting. Then we have, as of 2 hours ago, Biden cancer update. Biden completes radiation therapy. Quote, I rung the bell. All right, so, and that's good news, because I definitely don't want dude to die, you know what I mean? Yes, he's a jack-off, meaning Joe Biden. He definitely has no fucking clue how to run a country and blah, 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 but does that mean I want him to die? Of course not. I am not the left, right? So, anyways, before we get into the story, man, make sure you guys come in and hit that like button. It helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. You know what else is free is hitting that subscribe button. Just letting you know. Man, I really appreciate you guys hitting that subscribe button. But please consider becoming a member starting only at $2.99 a month. making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody, but check it out. This is what allows us to keep the lights on and keep us on the air. So I'm very honored that you guys become members and then stay members, man. Seriously. Little side note, follow my Instagram right here at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news, all that great shit. It's a great way to get a hold of me one-on-one. We also have a Discord where 95% of you guys in the Insane Wheels family are a part of and in it. But make sure if you guys don't use Discord or whatever the case is, use Discord with us, man. Join the server, join the link. And if you guys are watching this on the playback, hit the link down in the description down below to get that invite link. Also, last but not least for the call to actions, and we're getting right into the news. All right, every super chat, super stickers, gifted membership signups are, of course, going to be sent, presented live onto the show and shouted out. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, well, then we have these platforms right here that you guys can donate to. And, of course, I'll read it out loud live on the show like as if it is a super chat. So I have my email up on my phone. If anything comes through, of course, I'll read it out right away. So, all right. We have 131 brand new messages since I looked at the chat last. You guys are fucking insane. Very much appreciate all of you guys. By the way, Motobomb came in with the raid. Thank you, sir, for that. Very much appreciate you and the coffee crew. Always appreciate you guys. And speaking of coffee crew, we got Sterling Wheel in here, by the way, for the 420, man. Dropping it like it's hot. Saying, is JD asking Israel for my tax money back? That is a great question there, Sterling, but I very much appreciate you making it dropping like it's hot. Thank you for that. We got Jimmy Mack as well as Naomi in the building. Shout out to you guys. We got Steve Easy as well as brother AU. Johnny Reno, my man, always appreciate you. We got brother So Loud from the boondocks of North Carolina. Yes, sir. Great to see you as well. We got Papa D. Yes, sir. And yes, that whole thing is an ordeal, man, regarding that New York box truck. We got Mountain Woman. Good morning to you. Great to see you. Papa Penguin, thank you guys for being here. Mount High as well. Crystal as well. Thank you guys so much. We got Brother Dean over there in Israel as well, man. Thank you guys. Left-handed tobacco all around. You know the deal, bro. We got it. We got Miss Lotus as well. Good morning. STMC Prez as well. Thank you guys so much. We got Gary as well. Good morning to everybody. We got Extra Surprise and a Grillipus. Always appreciate you guys. You guys are fucking legends. I very much appreciate all of you guys. Path Killer as well. Appreciate you. Great to see you guys. We got Brother 13 in the building, in the hizzy as well. Always appreciate you too. All right, let's go ahead and pretty much get right into it. I try to say hi to everyone. We got Steve Posey as well. Good morning. All right, so I always try my best, my damnedest, to say hi to everybody, but it is getting harder and harder to do that each and every single day. All right, so now we're going to get into the news. Trump meets with Australian Prime Minister. This was yesterday. I reported that this was happening, but of course, this meeting happened right after the live stream ended for me. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, yesterday's news, is because why did this happen? Well, this whole thing, and I have it ready for us right here. Here's a breakdown of the deal signed on October 20th, 2025, between Donald Trump, President of the United States, and Anthony Albanese, Prime Minister of Australia, regarding rare earth critical minerals with full context and key terms. What the deal is, the two leaders signed what is formally called the United States-Australia Framework for Securing of Supplying in the Mining and Processing of Critical Minerals and Rare Earths. And that's straight from the White House, 3 sources that you can see right there from the White House. The aim is to strengthen and diversify supply chains for critical minerals and rare earth elements, REEs, especially for defense, advancing manufacturing, semiconductors, electrical vehicles, and aerospace. So the way that I look at this is I'm not totally 1,000% sure, but I'm going to think that this has to do with something regarding uranium and gold and silver, just so you guys know. All right, so the next page I have here just to show you guys the financing of this. The two major countries commit to mobilizing substantial financing. In the framework, each country undertakes within 6 months measures to provide at least US $1 billion in financing to projects located in each of the United States and Australia, expected to generate end product for delivery to buyers in the United States and Australia. Some sources phrase the total pipeline as about $8.5 billion that is ready to go. So just wanted to let you guys know how big of a deal that is. Yes, in the grand scheme of things of how much money we print and all that shit and what we give away, yes, it is not that much in the grand scheme of things, but yes, it is something that at least should be talked about. So we're going to hear a little bit about this meeting real quick. We're not going to play the whole thing because we've got a huge morning, but we are going to hear some of these comments.
And the Prime Minister of Australia.
It's a big crowd today. We must have the Prime Minister of Australia.
There's a few Australians there.
They always have some piece of shit fucking microphone. Yeah, let's jump
Leaders
ahead.
are now speaking.
Here we go.
Albanese, and he's highly respected. Done very well in his election, and I hear you're very popular today, right? I mean, it varies from day to day, but with all of us. But he's done a fantastic job as the Prime Minister. We're here to talk about trade, submarines, lots of other military equipment. They're big orderers of our great military equipment. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world by far. And
Trump, we know this.
you got to watch that.
Gee.
Watch that. You're not allowed to break that. That mirror is 400 years old.
Uh-oh, people are bumping around over there.
Camera just hit the mirror. Hey.
Yeah, he's calling out one of the cameramen that I guess he probably swung around and hit a mirror or something like that. He's like calling it out. Like, come on, man.
I just moved it up here special from the vaults, and the first thing that happens, the camera hits it.
Yeah, no
Hard to
kidding.
believe, isn't it? Hard to believe, but these are the problems in life.
What's up, Lappy? And he goes, yeah, these are the problems of life. True. This is why we can't have nice things, bro.
So we're going to be here to talk about lots of different things, and we might take a few questions before, but we are discussing critical minerals and rare earths, and we're going to be signing an agreement that's been negotiated over a period of 4 or 5 months, and it was sort of
Like I said, I'm thinking, I don't know this as an absolute fact, but I'm thinking that this is in regards to uranium and in the regards to gold and silver.
good timing that we got it done just in time for the visit, and we worked together very much on rare
Oh
earths.
shit, real quick, we got Sterling Wheel coming in with the $5, man, saying the government has taken 3 weeks to flatten the curve, shut down off, or well, okay, let me say something regarding this. I think that you had a really good take this morning, by the way, regarding the whole government shutdown. Now we should have a government lockout where, you know what, fuck you guys, you can't come back in. We don't need you. We're going to restart the whole thing. I like that take, by the way.
Critical minerals and lots of other things.
But thank you, Sterling,
And
for the
we've had a very
$5,
good
man.
relationship. We've been working on that for quite a while. In about a year from now, we'll have so much critical mineral and rare earths that you won't know what to do with them. They'll be worth about $2. But in the meantime, we're working with Australia and other countries. They're working with us too. But other countries also on that. But we're really working on anything having to do with military protection, military ships, vehicles, guns, ammunition, everything, the whole thing. We've been long-time allies, and I would say there's never been anybody better. We fought wars together. We never had any doubts.
Very,
And,
very interesting, Papa, and that's why I said I don't know. But I was only assuming. But that's very interesting. He says there are 17 rare earth elements. Gold and silver are not amongst them. They're called rare earth elements because they're abundant on Earth, but rarely form dense deposits. Very fucking interesting. W to Papa Penguin for schooling us. See, between me and everyone in the chat, we know fucking everything. That is very true. Very, very, very true. All right, let's get into this.
It's a great honor to have you as my friend. It's a great honor to have you in the United States of America. Please, would you like to say something?
Well, thank you so much, Mr. President, for
Johnny Reno also making it rain with the $5, man. Thank you, kind sir. We're getting closer and closer each and every day to breaking these donation goals. So I'm very appreciative of your guys' contributions to the show. It helps out immensely. And listen, man, I'm not a super rich man doing this, so I'm very appreciative of everything that I do get, man, whether it's a single dollar, all the way up, man. So I'm very appreciative.
the invitation here to the White House and for showing us around the improved Oval Office and for what you're doing around here as well, and for the great honour as well of my delegation staying just across the road. We could have walked, but they didn't
up,
let us. We drove all of 20 metres there from Blair House, but it's a great honour to be able to stay there. We are great friends and we're great allies, and this is a relationship that's been forged in the battlefields of the world. We have stood side by side for freedom and democracy
Yes, we got 41 of you guys watching the video right now, 43. Make sure you guys hit the like button. We should have an even number of likes, 43 likes to 43 views. Very much appreciate you guys.
And congratulations, I must say, Mr. President, on the work that you've done with the Middle East.
Yeah.
It's an extraordinary achievement. And on defence, we've already had a discussion about taking it to the next level. Our defence and security partnership with AUKUS is so important for us, and I thank you for...
This motherfucker is just giving us some Aussie fucking prattle right now. We got a Gorilla Piss dropping a humongous 5 bomber to the memberships, man. Thank you so fucking much. That is huge, my brother. So we got our left-handed tobacco. We got 2 of them, actually, ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and spark one up for that. That is a definite W in the chat, man. So thank you for that, because you're not only helping me, but you're helping 5 others in the Breakfast Club in the Insane Wheels family, man. So thank you for that. Here we go.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Feels ultra good to be a G. All right, back to this. Thank you, kind sir. Thank you for making it rain.
That the administration are giving as well. You've had the Chief of the Navy here as well, which will play obviously a very critical role with
What's up, Frank?
subs and increasing
Carney,
the security
my man,
for the
good
region
morning.
and the world. And our economic relationship is so important.
Frankie.
The US has a trade surplus with Australia, as you know, and we can continue to take what is every opportunity to improve the relationship even further and make it even stronger. And today's agreement on critical minerals and rare earths is...
Yes, that is right. Steve Easy did say, bro, you capping over here, bro.
Stop the cap.
Mike, why you fronting? We know after a year of YouTube pay, you can afford early bird special dinner. Yes. From Google AdSense, after a whole fucking year, I might be able to take out my family for dinner. Maybe once. Maybe once. Maybe not. Maybe only for me. Because Google Ads, let me tell you something, you don't get paid shit for presenting news. No one wants to watch old news, so no one's watching the playback. Everyone wants to watch it live, right? So my real money is up front, not in the back end like all the other YouTubers that do videos and stuff like that. So all of the memberships, super chats, cash apps, shit like that, that's how we survive. So thank you guys.
Taking it to the next level, seizing those opportunities which are before us to take our relationship to that next level. And it's been fantastic, the contact that we've had together, the friendship that we've developed. And
oh, it must be my my alt account.
Australians love America, and I think Americans kind of like...
Yes, we know this. So anyways, I really don't care much more about this conversation. I'm going to be real, because we know exactly what the fuck happens. And so that's exactly why at the top of the show that I presented to you guys what the deal was made. And they're approximate, approx of $8.5 billion in rare earths, minerals, or whatever the case is. So we have that there. I have that presented. If you guys wanted to see that, just make sure you guys take a screenshot of this so that you guys, because I looked it up. I wanted to make sure that there was some backing of what we're going to be talking about here. Here's the other one. Take a screenshot if you need to. And all right, so we're going to move into the next story here. Yesterday, as you guys may or may not have heard, there was a federal court that came in and ruled that Trump can absolutely deploy the troops over there to Portland. The court rules. So let's go ahead and bring that up for all of us to enjoy together.
We're doing some breaking news that we want to bring to you coming out of Oregon.
And we all called this. I called it. Said right in the beginning, dude, these fucking rogue-ass judges, these are activist judges. And then we have the real deal judges that are no, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, he's allowed to do this. He's allowed to go as far as he can on the executive side, right?
And where a panel of judges at the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has ruled that the Trump administration can deploy Oregon National Guard troops to Portland. That decision comes weeks after a hearing that happened back on October 9th, where the 3-judge panel heard arguments from Oregon and the U.S. Department of Justice attorneys. Each side had 20 minutes to make their case, not including time for judges' questions. In the latest development in an escalating legal battle between the federal government and local partnership centered on protest at the U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement Facility in Portland's South Waterfront District. The administration argued that the troops are needed to help protect the building, where for several months a small group of demonstrators has gathered outside, including to occasional clashes with federal agents.
Wow, why did this not star up on the side so that I could see this properly? I hate that shit. Jimmy Mack, my man, I see you for the $5, man. Saying nicely rolled left-handed tobacco mic. Yes, sir. With a filter. I even fold little filters. You know, the cardboard filters or whatever. You just zigzag it, and then you roll it into the joint. Yeah. Hell yeah, we don't mess around, cuh. Hey, but thank you very much, Jimmy Mack, for the 5 spot, man. I very much appreciate you making it rain.
Guarding the building, but local and state officials have said that the administration is grossly exaggerating.
Oh, shit. SNS also became a member. Well, it's right there. It didn't pop up either. But since I just caught it right now, thank you, bro. Becoming a member. Let's go. That's one of the things that makes me the happiest is when someone becomes a member.
Of the incident. Weeks ago, U.S. District Court Judge Karen Immergut issued a temporary restraining order blocking the use of the Oregon National Guard in Portland. Hours later, the Trump administration attempted to skirt the judge's ruling by sending roughly 200 members of the California National Guard to Oregon instead. They made it as far as Camp Willingcombe in Happy Valley. The Trump administration also looked to deploy members of the Texas National Guard to Oregon as well as Chicago. The Trump administration quickly appealed the judge's initial ruling. Now, on October 15th, the judge extended her initial order by an additional 14 days, just days before it was set to expire on the 18th. But once again, now we do have the information from the Court of Appeals that President Trump can.
Yeah, he absolutely can do what he's doing. So, federal judge, federal judge for upholding what the true law is. We got Brother TVT in the building. Shout out to my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your, well, I was going to say Monday morning, but it's actually Tuesday, right? So hopefully you're enjoying your Topless Taco Tuesday, man. Great to see you down here. All right, we're going to move into the next here. Midtown Manhattan box truck. Okay, this is what I talked about at the very front of the show, top of the show, whatever. Unfortunately, this guy in a box truck hit a parked car, and then this parked car went flying into a crowd of people and unfortunately injured 9. Now, no one has died from the incident, but 9 people were taken to the hospital.
Next up, we want to go out live to breaking news out of New York City, where there is a Ryder truck that was involved in an accident. Numerous people have been hospitalized.
What's up, Brother Blair?
To the coverage
Good morning.
from Fox 5 New York. They are covering this right now. Let's listen in.
Fox 5's Arthur Chien with the update. Arthur, what can you tell us?
Steve, Natasha, 8th Avenue is still closed down here. This is 8th Avenue. We're between 30th and 31st Street. There are 2 vehicles in question, and one is over on this side. We'll get a closer look at it in a second. This one, though, is the vehicle that set off the chain of events here. This was being driven.
Brother Liquored Up with Poncho just showing up in the building. Great to see you, my man.
There was a driver in here and a passenger in here, and as it was coming up 8th Avenue northbound at 30th Street, it hits this van, and right now there are at least 8 or 9 pedestrians that have been hurt. Let's show you video.
And it was updated to 9, not 8 or 9. Shit, we got Joey up in the building. Shout out to my man. It's absolutely been a minute. Hopefully you're enjoying your Tuesday, Topless Taco Tuesday so far.
Shows where the second vehicle, that is the vehicle that this truck ran into, ended up. It ended up barreling onto the sidewalk, and that's where it hit several pedestrians. That second vehicle, nobody was in there at the time, according to the police department, but the impact was so hard that it sent it into a crowd of people. Those who have been hurt have been brought over.
Yep, I actually got the email, by the way, for everyone that was calling out. Mike Ball got a membership. Yeah, no joke. Look, it says, you were gifted a channel membership. Welcome to Mike Ball's community. I didn't know that I was a part of it. Ah, shit.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Well, now I'm a part of it. You guys made me a part of the community. I appreciate that.
To Bellevue Hospital, we were told right now, as of now, that nobody has suffered life-threatening injuries. It's not to say that they weren't serious, but everybody is expected to survive this to some degree. Police are still investigating here. The avenue is still closed off as we speak, but they just removed the...
God damn, Claire, are they actually thinking that it's going to last all the way until December? Holy shit. That's not good. That's really fucking bad news. Real quick, we got Chatting with Stacks in the building. Shout out to my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your Topless Taco Tuesday as well. Always appreciate you in the chat, man. Hopefully all has been well.
Police state, so presumably they're getting ready to at least tow the vehicles in question, and then they'll talk about reopening the street. But in the meantime, we asked about the driver of this vehicle over here, this truck over here, and they say so far no criminality is suspected, but they are still investigating what happened. Whether that means there might have been a health condition or some sort of mechanical malfunction with the truck, those are things that are being looked at right now. That's the latest from here on 8th Avenue, which is still closed down for the time being. Arthur Chan, Fox 5 News. Steve, back to you.
That's very true, Steve Easy.
Well, as the holidays get closer, it seems.
All right, our thanks to Fox 5 in New York for breaking that breaking news down. We'll keep an eye on that story for you right here on Live Now.
No. That's my homie who's a badass electrician. But good call out there, Johnny Reno.
From Fox, another live look here at the scene as investigators continuing to
What's up,
try to
GEG? Good
figure
morning.
out what exactly happened in this situation. All right, we will take a 2-minute break when we come back.
And you know what's weird is we haven't had an actual update on this story since yesterday. This came out 17 hours ago. Look, I watched this right after the stream yesterday, basically. I happened to see it in the afternoon or something like that. And I watched this and I go, well, we should have an update here pretty soon. We didn't get an update last night. Then I woke up this morning, looked for the update. There was no update. So we don't have any updates on this. Maybe they did in the chat or in the description. Let's see what it says. A box truck jumped a curb in Midtown Manhattan Monday afternoon, injuring 9 people. Officials said a box truck traveling northbound on 8th Avenue struck a parked, unoccupied van. The impact forced the van onto the sidewalk, hitting multiple pedestrians. No one was pinned or trapped, and there was no structural damage to the building. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. And this is what I was thinking we were going to get the update from. But I guarantee you, if there is going to be an update, most likely it's probably going to be more on the article side and not necessarily on the mainstream media like this. So I may even have to do some further digging on a lot of these stories. And that's what I really try to do when I'm off the show and stuff. I do a fuck ton of research. My whole life has become this. You know what I mean? When you do this every single day, of course, and live, yeah, this is what you focus on. And so I do as much research as I can on a lot of these things. That's happening in real time, breaking, and then being able to try to remember the stories and report them in the morning kind of thing. And that's what we do on a lot of these things. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and go into the next story here. Atlanta airport scare, man with gun arrested after making threats. All right, so let's go ahead and bring that up. Going to be an interesting story for damn sure.
In the meantime, I do want to take you out to Atlanta, where officials with the city, as well as the police department, giving an update to a situation that happened over the weekend where a man was threatening to use an AK-47.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. A man was threatening to use an AK-47
in the airport.
In the airport? Holy fuck. That's pretty fucking radical, actually. I can't wait to actually get to this story. But I do definitely got to get the money part over. You know what I mean? I got to get the money part over. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and bring that up.
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking.
All right, that was perfect.
Denied.
And let's listen right now to the updates coming from this story.
I'm here along with my colleagues to talk about an incident that could have been tragic but was averted. So we're joined here by the COO of this city, our chief of police, as well as Captain Shapiro from Spiritillo from Cartersville Police, as well as our FBI lead, Mr. Brown, as well as our, who else we have? Oh, we have Ricky Smith from Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. And we are here to talk about an incident that occurred at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta.
That's super funny, Steve Easy. While this
Shutdown will give you
motherfucker
a lot
lags.
of details about that incident. But
By the way, that's not our lag. Obviously, if you can hear me perfectly fine and all that, that was the mainstream media lagging.
27 or more lives could have been lost today because an individual came into Hartsfield Jackson and after being, reported coming out of Cartersville, Georgia, that had mental challenges. This individual, thankfully, his family went to the Cartersville police and shared with them what was going on, and they alerted APD, and APD and the airport were aware, and this crisis was averted. But this individual did have a semi-automatic weapon, and this individual was mentally challenged. And when you have those combinations together, it can turn out to be deadly. People that are mentally challenged, and he happened to also have been a felon from a few years back. So he's a felon with a semi-automatic weapon, and he's got mental challenges, and he's approaching the world's busiest and most efficient airport. This crisis, we're thankful to God and to good information and good intel and good people for this crisis being averted. Just a few weeks ago, we dealt with the CDC shooting that occurred in this city, where another individual coming out of Kennesaw had a mental challenge and a high-powered weapon. And then,
damn, Jesus, all these mentally unstable motherfuckers with fucking firearms. Jesus.
ended up killing a DeKalb County police officer and striking the CDC, as well as striking fear into the communities around. We also had an individual just last year in Midtown that was also seeking mental help with his parents, but ended up, causing loss of life in that regard as well. We also have,
and that's the problem, is what is deemed, who is deeming, who's judging what is mentally stable or not. You know what I mean? True. You do have to ask the flip side of the coin. That
Four Seasons Hotel and residence, an individual with high-powered weapons and a mental health diagnosis.
That's right, Joseph.
So what you're seeing is we are experiencing across the nation and even in this great city where guns and mental health challenges going together can propose a deadly scenario. We're thankful that in this situation today, this crisis was averted. And so now I would turn it over to our police chief, Darren Shearbaum, to be able to give you more details about all of the aspects of this situation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate you all being here. As the mayor stated, we are here today to announce an arrest of an individual that posed a threat to our airport, but also to note that because of the community, in the case of the family, as well as the joint collaboration of law enforcement, that a tragedy was indeed.
By the way, I just have to point out, I just have to do it. I was really trying not to, but then I had to. So this motherfucker back here who just spoke, I just noticed the weirdest shit. So when he walked away from the podium, he looked at his colleagues and he's smiling because he knows that he just gave a good speech on a political level. And I always I'm like, damn, like you shouldn't even do that. Like, you shouldn't be like all smiles after you just talked about some crazy radical shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're like all patting each other on the back kind of thing. Anyways, I just had to point that out, but notice it. When I play this, he'll look and he kind of smirk, like, yeah, I did a badass fucking speech right there. That motherfucker's going to be good for my next campaign.
Of the aspects of this situation.
Keith? Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate you all being here. As the mayor stated, we are here today to announce an arrest of an individual that posed a threat to our airport, but also to note that because of the community, in the case of the family, as well as the joint collaboration of law enforcement, that a tragedy was indeed averted. The Atlanta airport, the busiest in the world, most efficient, remains safe. Each and every day we have a range of resources in place to keep the airport safe, including our special response team and the many officers that are assigned there. That team trains regularly for scenarios just like today. And I want to thank the men and women of the airport for their response. We have taken in custody and have under arrest a Billy Cagle, age 49, resident of Cartersville, Georgia. At approximately 9:40 this morning, the Atlanta Police Department was alerted by the Cartersville Police Department of a potential threat at the airport. Cartersville Police Department was alerted by...
I just want to know how... Are they going to get to the point where they fucking say, listen, this motherfucker just walked in with an AK and started threatening motherfuckers? Like, how do you bring a fucking AK... I want to know these facts. You know what I mean? That's why I'm kind of letting this go for a second. We're not going to listen to this whole conference. I just want to hear something regarding it.
The family of Mr. Cagle, that he was streaming on social media, that he was...
Oh, see, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Let's figure out what the fuck is happening. All right, motherfucker's streaming on social media. He's probably on Instagram, bro. I'm going to be real. This is the type of shit that happens on Instagram, X, fucking all this type of shit. You know what I mean? This kind of shit happens all the time. So very interesting already that he's streaming on social media.
Headed to the airport, in their words, to shoot it up. And the family
shoot
stated
it
that
up.
he was in possession of an assault rifle. What we didn't know is that Mr. Cagle had already arrived at the airport. In fact, we know that he arrived at 9:29, going to the South Terminal, and that he entered the airport shortly thereafter at 9:31. At that time, we do not believe he was armed. He entered the South Domestic Terminal, and from video we will show you he seemed to be very interested in the TSA check-in area, which you can see was heavily crowded with travelers. At approximately 9:54, officers of this department, armed with a photograph of Mr. Cagle and being provided up-to-date information from their sergeant as she spoke to the Cartersville Police Department and a family member, was able to locate Mr. Cagle and take him into custody. He had arrived at the airport in a Chevy flatbed pickup that was part of the lookout provided to us by Cartersville PD. That vehicle was parked immediately outside. When we went to that vehicle, we found inside a Springfield AR-15 assault rifle, a 5.56 St. Victor model.
Let me bring that back a little bit.
Lookout provided to us by Cartersville PD. That vehicle was parked immediately outside. When we went to that vehicle, we found inside.
So it was in his vehicle. He didn't bring it into the airport. Okay, now we're getting the facts straight. Awesome.
A Springfield AR-15 assault rifle, a 5.56 St. Victor model with 27 rounds of ammunition. We did have a tragedy averted today. Just a short while ago.
That's good. That's good that they did that. All right, so we got the facts of the ordeal. And do they have what he looks like? This guy right here, here's the suspect. Billy Joe something, but it's because it's cut off. Charged with terroristic threats, criminal attempt to commit aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a felon. Look at this motherfucker. That's a weird looking fuck. It's always these fucking. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna relax.
Want a success and not a tragedy, because a family saw something and said something. A family knew they had a family member in crisis. They knew they had access to firearms.
Morning,
and they
GG.
were on social media. This is something we've seen across the country time and time again. Social media postings, people with an awareness, individuals with access to firearms.
Hit the like
But
button,
today,
everybody.
The family said something. The local police in Cartersville quickly notified the Atlanta Police Department. And the Atlanta Police Department, using its resources at the airport, took the individual into custody. So today is how it should work. Community, law enforcement, dedicated men and women wearing the uniform and trained to respond when their community needs them. So thank you, Mr. Mayor, for making sure we have the resources to keep our airport safe.
All right. Well, there we go. That's the story. Perfect. I wanted to know the legitimate facts on that. All right. We're moving on into George Santos speaks out, apologizes after release from prison. Now, I don't know much about this story at all other than what I saw the title. So we're going to figure this out together.
Welcome back, everyone.
And this is from this morning. Or no, I'm sorry. This is from yesterday. I apologize.
I'm down for
The next two stories are this morning.
From Fox. I'm your host, Mike Page. Thanks again for joining us, continuing to bring you some of the day's biggest top stories and headlines. And one of them, the really big news that came late Friday evening, George Santos being released from prison. President Trump put that out on Truth Social. And, George Santos, the former representative of New York, was looking at more than 7 years in prison and just had to spend a little more than 3 months in prison. So for a breakdown of that.
Damn, he did spend 3 months. Shit.
Plus, Fox 5 New York spending time with George Santos in that exclusive interview. Let's bring you right now out to New York. That is where we find Fox 5 New York's Jody Goldberg, who conducted the interview. Now, Jody, you spoke to him before he was going to prison, so it was only fitting that you got to speak to him again after coming out of prison.
Mike, it only makes sense. And I wrote him a letter in prison and he wrote me back. And he told me when he...
Why? Oh, my goodness. I mean, yeah, I guess you do work for news. And, okay, I mean, that does make sense. But I don't understand women that fucking do that shit. These lonely women that are fucking writing just whatever fucking type of letter or whatever love letter, to their lover in the fucking joint and shit like that. I just don't get that shit. I really don't get the infatuation. I really don't.
Got out. We all thought it would be closer to 2031. He would speak to me, but he did hold his promise there. And when we sat down this morning, we spoke on Zoom. He said he can't rewrite the past, but he can change the future of his life. Whether or not his donors who he duped and his victims who were, affected by his actions believe it, that remains to be seen. scene, but we had about a 20-minute interview. Take a listen to it.
I'm still kind of in a state of almost shock.
From confinement to
Almost
commutation, George
Shit.
Why are you gay?
Santos is back home just days after President Trump signed the order that set him free. He agreed to a Zoom interview, and we spoke for almost 20 minutes.
I mailed it, and, it went public, so it worked.
Santos says it was a heartfelt written plea to Trump asking for a chance to rebuild his life. The president granted that wish, commuting the former disgraced congressman's 87-month sentence after just 12 weeks.
Man, that is a sus-looking motherfucker. Look at this shit. Hold on.
Congressman's 87-month sentence after...
Look at this. Look at the build of this motherfucker. Oh, my God. Brutal.
For just 12 weeks.
Thanks to President Trump's generosity, I can now go do something bigger with my life.
Santos, who pleaded guilty to fraud and identity theft charges from his 2022 congressional campaign, insists his short time behind bars changed him.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I disappointed you. I'm sorry I misled you and misrepresented myself in the past. But I can guarantee you one thing. I will work very hard to earn your trust and to prove myself.
No, you're not going to do nothing.
Redeemed and changed man.
Inside prison,
you're not going to do nothing. Nice try, though.
Says he kept a routine and tried to hold on to a sense of humor, even when it
He
came
is
to
very
the food.
squishy.
There was 2 decent meals in prison. Chicken patty sandwiches and then baked chicken quarters. Everything else was like right out of the can of a Friskies cat food.
Oh, this guy is so fucking gay.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
You don't even know how to talk about prison food.
But all jokes aside, he says the time he spent in solitary confinement nearly broke him.
It was the most destructive mental health experience I've had.
Shut up, you pussy.
Now he wants to turn that experience into purpose, pushing for
I
prison
gotta censor
reform
myself.
and mentorship for at-risk youth.
I almost said the F slur.
I've stolen, I've cheated, I've lied, and I've gone to prison because of that. And I think it's very good to speak to youth so that they understand that that is not the path to walk on.
As part of his plea deal, Santos was ordered to pay nearly $374,000 in restitution, but repayment is not required in the order signed by Trump.
How do you start fresh without paying?
Yeah, look at him. Look at him. He'd have to be in solitary confinement. He'd have to be. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to walk. You know what I mean?
These victims.
I can sit here and rehash all of this about campaign donations. I don't know how this is going to change the past. I want to do what's required of me in the law. I want to talk future. And I understand your question. As of right now, 4 days out of prison, I don't have an answer for you, Jody.
Critics, including members of Congress, constituents, and those who say they were defrauded by Santos, argue his crimes deserved far more than 3 months.
At the time, did you think that you would end up in jail? Or did you think, maybe you'd fly under the radar?
I can't honestly answer that other than say I was so caught up in my own arrogance.
How will people know they could believe you now?
Measure
I'm going to love this answer. Let's see how he answers this.
me from my actions. Words are cheap. We've all learned that from.
Yeah, we definitely know that. And you're right now still just yapping.
Politicians and public figures in the past.
You haven't proven anything. You're just yapping. You just said don't believe motherfuckers that buy their words because talk is cheap, right? So what kind of actions do we got to go by off of you, Santos?
Measure me from my actions. Words are cheap. We've all learned that from politicians and public figures in the past. Just really measure my actions and just at least give me a shot. Everybody deserves a
No, you don't deserve a shot.
second chance.
I really don't understand why fucking Trump did this. I'm going to be real. Like, why would he do this? This pisses me off.
Now, Mike, he tells me when we spoke that he was set to teach Government 101 to inmates in a few weeks, but obviously his sentence was commuted before he had that opportunity. Unlike a pardon, there have been many questions. What is a pardon?
I see it, Johnny Reno, but I can't put it on the show.
A commutation does not erase his conviction. That's one thing I do want to point out. And it's still unclear at this point whether his duped donors and victims involved in this case will pursue legal action separately.
And Jody, when he was saying at the end there, judge me by my actions going forward for how he will change, what are some of the things on his docket that we might see from George Santos come up in the future?
I asked him if he plans to pursue politics. He says he's moving forward with a purpose. He said he's really going to work on this recidivism rate, on jail reform, keeping, criminals out of jail and allowing them to get better in society, but also changing the conditions inside the jail. He said it was very hard to be there. He said solitary confinement, as you heard from, the piece.
Oh my God, this is just insane. They used solitary confinement for 3 months, and it was such a mind-changing. It was such torture. Shut up, weirdo. Jesus. And everyone's just like going along with it.
All right, just get the money part done.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
Perfect. That's awesome.
From his interview was extremely destructive to his mental health. Those are some of the things that he plans on working on.
And then, Jody, when you saw the news there from President Trump's Truth Social on Friday, how fast did the ball get going for you to get the interview to showcase it for Monday?
Man, I'm trying to remember the exact two. Wasn't it something like 3 years or something like that? 2 years and 8 months. I can't remember what it is. I'll look it up right now, actually.
It was almost immediate. Mike, I was off on Friday. I was set to go to dinner. I was going with my family. The second I saw it come out, the second his attorney, Joe Murray, reached out to me, I sat in the car. I made sure I had all my pieces to my puzzle ready because, again, there was talk of a commutation at some point. Would it happen this soon? 87 months, that was his sentence. Would it happen after 12 weeks?
50 months, that's what it is. 50 months, just over 4 years in federal prison for 2 counts of transporting individuals for prostitution. He will also serve 5 years of supervised release following his prison term.
That really was a short time, and many people were caught off guard. But as soon as it came down, as soon as word got out, I started making the phone calls. I was on the phone with his attorney, and ultimately I spoke to him the next day as soon as he got out.
There you go. Jody Goldberg breaking it all down. Great job working the story and getting George Santos so quickly after being released. We appreciate it, as always, on Live Now from Fox. All right, everyone, we will take another 2-minute break. Stay right here with us. More to come in just moments.
No, not with that. All right. Now, this morning, something came out regarding Trump and his thoughts about Ukraine and being able to defeat Russia. Well, Trump is doubtful that Ukraine can defeat Russia amid these talks. So let me go ahead and bring this up real quick. We got Glare 1% dropping $5, man, saying for the next round of chemo for the bald lady. Listen, man, she really needs the money. She said she money me a lot now, Yeah, no, she needs it, bro. You can tell by her, she's really genuine. You can just tell she's a genuine person. And so is Homeboy that's in that clip. All right, let's get into Trump regarding Ukraine.
Latest when it comes to the war between Russia and Ukraine. President Trump now.
This is 3 hours ago.
Saying that he is doubtful that Ukraine can win the war with Russia. However,
Thank you, by the way,
he does
Claire.
still think that there is a possibility that Ukraine can defeat Russia. The AP saying that the comments from President Trump adding a fresh layer of skepticism toward Kyiv as he plans to meet again in the coming weeks with Russian President Vladimir Putin for face-to-face talks in Budapest on ending the war. I want to dive into all of this now, and joining us into the program is Peter Duran. He is a adjunct.
We got Stephanie in the building. Hopefully you're enjoying your Tuesday morning so far, your topless Taco Tuesday, actually.
Fellow with the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. Peter, good morning.
Thanks for having me, Krill.
Of course.
This guy.
Why are you gay?
Let's start by setting the scene for our viewers, right? We continue to hear over the last few days, Ukraine striking Russia, Russia striking Ukraine. Where do each of these sides stand in terms of who could have
the Ukraine
upper hand?
Well, right now, the line of battle is relatively stagnant. Both sides have enough defensive firepower to prevent the other from making a significant breakthrough. But here's the twist. Over the past few weeks, the Ukrainian side has been hitting Russia where it hurts most. They've been hitting their oil infrastructure. We're seeing long lines for gasoline across Russia. We're seeing shortages as a result of this. This is going to have a material effect on the battlefield if it is sustained. And that's why the Ukrainians are asking the United States for more weapons that can allow them to.
And we're not going to give it to them, gay man.
Why are you gay?
We're not going to give it to them. So stop asking.
To hit Russia further behind the battle line.
Trump already said no. Why are you saying this now? Trump already said no. This is today this guy's speaking on. We just reported on yesterday that the day before, Trump had said, no, we ain't giving you shit. And that whole meeting happened Friday. So why is this guy even talking about it like that?
Into Siberia, Karel.
Ukrainian President Zelensky has said that there is momentum now for President Trump to achieve a ceasefire and perhaps an end to the war, given what we saw in Gaza over the past couple of weeks or so. But Peter, talk to us about the challenges and how it compares to achieve a ceasefire in Ukraine compared to achieving that ceasefire in Gaza.
Well, the big twist here is that President Trump came into office for his second term expecting that the war between Russia and Ukraine, a war that Russia started, would be the easy.
Stop the cap. I hate this guy. What a fucking liar. This guy's what a cocksucker, dude.
Easiest to bring an end to. As it happens, it's been the hardest. Even President Trump admitted this while he was in Israel last week. Now, what is happening is that Vladimir Putin has learned how to play this game with the White House very well. It goes like this. He has a great phone call with President Trump. Everything seems ready for a peace agreement. Trump thinks Putin is ready to talk in a serious way. And then the officials, like Secretary Rubio, go in and they try and hammer out the details. And suddenly, oh, wait, the Russians have changed their terms. They have not accepted.
Be safe out there, brother Papa Penguin. We'll see on the flip side.
Any concessions. They want maximum.
By the way, our next story is Biden's cancer update.
Ends and Karel, their maximalist ends is the conquest of all of Ukraine. That is just what happened with Secretary Rubio and Russia's Foreign Minister Lavrov. Right now, it looks like we're setting up for a repeat of the Alaskan summit, which produced nothing.
Okay, so this guy is just whining over the top of him. All right, bro. Like, Trump already said he's not going to give these Tomahawks over to Ukraine. All right. And then now Trump is doubtful that Ukraine can defeat Russia amid his talks. That's the story. Then this guy comes on and wants to spin a fucking narrative. I hate these people. I hate them because I only work off of the fucking fact of what happens. You know what I mean? I don't care about the philosophy of shit to be really real. The philosophy is kind of cool. Yes, it's interesting and stuff like that. But the truth is I go off of hard fucking facts. So anyhow, let's go ahead and bring up, I have the Biden cancer update first, and then we're going to go into the government shutdown. As you guys know, because of the last 21 days of the government being shut down, we have been going over our time because usually this last story or the Biden story that I'm about to present right now, that would be where I normally would end. But because these, not only do I have to present what I've got going on, but then these guys ramble over the top each and every single day that the government shut down. So, and I have to show that because that's my obligation. So anyways.
We have some breaking news to bring to you on this Tuesday. Take a look at this.
So what I'm trying to say is money me because we're going above and beyond to make sure you guys are up to date with everything.
On X, courtesy of the New York Post, saying Joe Biden completes radiation treatment for aggressive prostate cancer. Quote, rung the bell. And there is the photo of him with one of the staffers there at the hospital, as well as a smaller photo with his wife, former First Lady Joe Biden.
This is good news.
Now, I want to get
this is good news. Listen, man. As much as this guy is a complete fucking donkey and truly he hates America, you know what I mean? But I don't wish him death. And I would hope that no one here would want that for him either, for him, his family, all of that. I think this is a great thing.
To some more of this reporting of former President Biden there on Monday completing a round of radiation therapy treatment for the aggressive form of prostate cancer he was diagnosed with after leaving office.
Man, prostate cancer is one of those things that by the time you're diagnosed with it, it's too fucking late. And one of my cousins actually died from prostate cancer, and it happened quick as fuck. I mean, it was fast.
That is according to a spokesperson. Former President Biden had been receiving treatment at Penn Medicine Radiation Oncology in Philadelphia, according to that same aide. The 82-year-old Democrat left office in January, 6 months after he dropped his bid for re-election, following a disastrous debate against Republican candidate there, Donald Trump, amid concerns about Biden's age, health, and mental fitness. I want to take us out to some of this video that we have of the former president there, including with the former First Lady. In May, it was Biden's post-presidential office who announced that he had...
What's up, Tiffany? Great to see you, by the way. Happy Topless Taco Tuesday for you.
Been diagnosed with prostate cancer and that it had spread to his bones. The discovery came after he had reported urinary symptoms. Prostate cancers are graded with aggressiveness using what is known as a Gleason score. And the scores range from 6 to 10, with 8, 9, and 10 prostate cancers behaving more aggressively. Biden's office had said that his score was a 9, suggesting his cancer is among the most aggressive. Last month, Biden had surgery.
And that's pretty incredible. I mean, listen, he's going to have the best doctor care in the world, you know what I mean? So that's great that he rang the bell and can say that he's cancer-free, essentially, right? That's what that states, right? Anyhow, let's go on into government shutdown enters day 21, and this is our final story for the morning. We're not going to play this whole thing here, but we are going to play, at least the beginning remarks and hear where they're at. And stick around as well because we're going to be rating somebody at the end of the show. Of course, that's what we do.
21 of the Democrat shutdown. It's now 3 weeks since the Democrats have decided to close the entire federal government. I mentioned yesterday when we were gathered that this is now the longest full shutdown in American history. And yet again, Senate Democrats voted for the 11th time, 12 times overall, when you count House and Senate Democrats, to prolong the pain and keep the government closed. So we want to talk very briefly with you this morning about what that means, and then we're going to give you a little update on the Epstein matter. So far, this is what it means. So far, what this shutdown has caused to the economy and to the people of this country is really unconscionable. The U.S. economy has now lost hundreds of billions of dollars. We have federal workers who are desperate for pay and uncertain when they will get their next paycheck. You got families wondering if they'll go without food assistance next month because many people rely upon that. New federal loans and disaster aid have come to a complete halt, and the stewards of our nuclear defense stockpile are being sent home on furlough. Think of the implications of all this. All of it hurts the economy, it hurts our national security, and it hurts the American people, and the Democrats seem not to care. I was watching Republican Senate Majority Whip Barrasso this morning on an interview, and he said it, I think, very succinctly. He said the Democrats are practicing the politics of pain. I'm not sure I could say that any better.
That's crazy, Jimmy Mac.
Exactly what it is. And you think of what's happening right now. Think of what they have demanded in exchange as a ransom, the hostage they've taken to reopen the government. They're demanding taxpayer-funded health benefits be restored to illegal aliens. They're demanding that we spend billions of dollars overseas.
Man, I was trying to figure out my camera behind the scenes of why it was flickering. Man, I hate these fucking programs. Sometimes it'll take off a setting that I already have on. If you guys noticed, there was a flickering. But nonetheless, I fixed it. It looks like it's fixed anyways. But yeah, that kind of shit frustrates me. I never changed that. I don't know why it does that kind of shit. But anyways.
For ridiculous programs that the American people do not support. They want to claw back the $50 billion that we just got signed into law on July 4th to support our rural hospitals and all sorts of other crazy things. They're demanding taxpayer-funded health benefits for illegal aliens instead of agreeing to pay.
And we know that.
Our men and women in uniform and provide vital health services and all the things that our most vulnerable Americans depend upon. It is unforgivable. And this is an indisputable fact. Everybody can see this, and everybody in this room knows what I'm about to say is true. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are terrified of their far left base in New York and around the country.
Wow, Stephanie, I had no idea. That's crazy. Thank God you're still here.
They have given in to their demands to shut down the government so that they themselves can get the left's approval and somehow salvage their political careers. That is the whole story in one sentence, okay? That's why Schumer said shamelessly that every day of the shutdown gets better for us. Who's the us? He's talking about he and Hakeem and the Democrats who are afraid of the far left base. So today I want to put a finer point on some of the very real consequences we're seeing and what they mean for Americans around the country. And I'll zoom in on some of these key Democrat states where the senators continue to dig their heels in and vote against opening the government. Yesterday from NBC News, here's the headline: Air traffic control staffing issues cause flight delays across the country. The Secretary of Transportation said 53% of flight delays are now due to staffing issues, and usually that number is 5%. From Colorado, food banks face growing crises as shutdown impacts become a reality. That's the headline from Sky High News. What are Colorado's 2 Democrat senators doing? You've got Hickenlooper and Bennett. They both now voted 11 times to keep the government closed. Virginia. Here's the headline yesterday, KSL. Virginia employees fear shutdown's impact on veterans' medical care. And meanwhile, their 2 Democrat senators, Tim Kaine and Mark Warner, have voted repeatedly to put their thumb in the eye of those veterans. And they won't end this pain. From Hawaii, Hawaii News Now says, headline, government shutdown impacts telehealth for seniors in Hawaii. Seniors in Hawaii rely upon telehealth. Guess who's shutting it down? Their 2 Democrat senators, Brian Schatz and Mazie Hirono, voted again and again to keep the government closed and disrupt the health services for seniors in their own state. They've got a lot to answer to. From California, here's a headline, ABC 7 News. Alameda food banks step in to help TSA workers, families impacted by government shutdown. That is disgusting. And both of California's senators, Padilla and Schiff, have voted 11 times to block the pay of those TSA agents and their families, the paychecks they rely upon. From Illinois, WIFR, yesterday, federal courts in northern Illinois reduce operations due to government shutdown. The courts are reducing operations, and you've got Illinois Democrats, Senators Duckworth and Durbin have voted to keep the government closed. We can do this all day long. That's a sample. Democrats used to care about the harm that shutdowns caused hardworking Americans, but now we can all see very clearly that was always based on politics and not principle, because they have thrown the principle out the window. And yesterday, there was an article from The Hill that laid bare that very fact. A Democrat senator was speaking anonymously and admitted, quote, people are going to get hammered if they vote for the House passed bill to reopen the government. The clean, nonpartisan CR, they're going to get hammered. Another insider said in that same story, quote, we would have enough votes to reopen the government if people were not terrified of getting the guillotine, okay? They mean it metaphorically, but in a political sense, that's exactly what they're concerned about.
I don't even blame you, brother Steve Easy. We'll see on the flip side.
Think about the fact that we're just laying out here. These are simple facts. We come out here every morning and remind the American people of what's going on. Do not let them distract you from the facts. The American people would have an open government if Democrats were not terrified of their radical base. That is the headline. Every single one of you.
You know what I think would behoove these guys is if they did these press conferences, not every single day, but maybe like once or twice a week or something like that. I think that would do them justice. But this is what they do.
You should write that. That's the ugly truth. The Democrats are not governing in good faith. They're covering their own tail. They're out here decrying the so-called forthcoming health care crisis, they say. It's the one that they themselves created. The Democrats created Obamacare. They're the ones that created a subsidy with an expiration date. They're the ones that did all of this. Republicans are trying to fix it. And they're trying to blame Republicans for the crisis they themselves created. They cry foul when we won't bail them out of their own shutdown. I don't have anything to offer, as I've explained. I don't have any partisan priority I can pull off of the CR.
I think that this is their way of really getting back against the whole big, beautiful bill ordeal. Like, hey, you guys forced this to happen. Now we're going to force the government to shut down until you give in to our $1.5 trillion demand. And because you guys had a $1.5 trillion, pork-filled bill that none of us voted for. You guys got it passed through party line, and now we're going to force something on a party line. This is our way to do it.
To make it more palatable for them, there's nothing to negotiate. They just have to do what they've always done in the past, that they did 13 times during the Biden administration, and they did as recently as March of this year, to open the government so that people can get their services and their paychecks. And they go before cameras incredibly, and they just lie to the American people over and over. It's a stunning thing to watch. It's time to stop the political games. The Democrats have got to stop this so that we can get back to the work here. For the sake of the American people, I hope they do. I hope Democrats finally come to their senses soon, and the pain will end so we can reopen the government and get back to the hard work here. Let me say this. Now, while congressional Democrats...
And yeah, absolutely. That's politics. That's politics. It's forcing something to happen.
Continue their dangerous political games. The bipartisan House Committee on Oversight is conducting its investigation into the heinous crimes of Jeffrey Epstein. And it has continued. It has not stopped during the government shutdown. You have some of the, as I like to say, some of the toughest bulldogs in Congress on the Republican and Democrat side. Who are united in this cause.
Naomi, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your morning. Always appreciate you as well. Thank you for your work.
For maximum transparency of the Epstein files. I'm for that. Chairman Comer is for that, the Oversight Committee chair. You'll hear from him in a moment. All these leadership team are, all the Republicans in the House are for maximum transparency and always have been. My good friend, Chairman James Comer, is going to give you an update on that shortly, but I just want to make a couple of key points very clearly before I bring him up here. Congressional Democrats are rudderless right now. I don't know how else to describe it. They don't have a message. They don't have a leader. They don't have any identifiable set of policy solutions for the problems facing the American people. Their party continues to hit all-time historic lows in poll after poll after poll, and many of you have reported on that. These are objective facts. They're utterly lost as a party, and everybody can see it. So what are they doing? They see a shiny object, and they latch onto it. Democrats did not say one word about the Epstein files for the entire Biden presidency. They had all the files in the Biden DOJ. They didn't say a word about it. 4 years, not a word. And suddenly now they somehow convince themselves that the Epstein files will be damaging to President Trump and Republicans in some way that they've imagined. And so they feign outrage. Let me be very clear about this. I've met with some of the Epstein victims. Some of these brave women have come forward. They were here on Capitol Hill, as you all know. We heard their stories. It's gut-wrenching. It's disgusting what they've been made to go through. And they bravely came forward. We're working around the clock to ensure that justice is served, and also as part of the oversight.
I certainly hope so. Legitimately, don't just let this fucking shit die out. You guys really do need to handle the Epstein shit. We got Brother Lee Lance in the building. Shout out to my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your Topless Taco Tuesday as well.
To figure out why justice has been delayed for so long. All credible information we will ensure is released to the
Hell
public.
yeah.
And
Real quick, that is a W. Lee, let us know. We got 45 likes and 36 watching now. Hell yeah. W chat, bro. You guys can throw it down.
So, at the same time, are fulfilling our responsibility to protect the innocent victims. By the witnesses' own testimony, these ladies who've come forward, they estimate there may be as many as 1,000 young women who were subjected to these heinous crimes. And many of them have chosen not to come forward and show their faces and reveal their names because it would compound the harm that they've already suffered. And so we want to protect those people. That's the sum total of all of this. That's our responsibility. And short of that, we want maximum transparency. And that is exactly what the American people are getting right now. That oversight investigation, they're working around the clock. And here's what the latest update, if you're not keeping track. They have now subpoenaed and released 43,000 pages of documents. They've subpoenaed and released DOJ and Epstein estate documents with more to come. They've issued 11 deposition subpoenas, and they've released Bill Barr's deposition transcript. Just a few days ago, they released the transcript from the interview with Alexander Acosta. They requested and begun to receive suspicious activity reports from the Treasury Department, and the department is fully cooperating in that.
By a long shot, Prez. Definitely.
And they published letters from Eric Holder, Merrick Garland, and James Comey stating they had no knowledge or information related to the committee's investigation. Those documents include the ones that were released on Friday of last week, okay? The Epstein estate documents include his personal phone logs, his travel logs, his financial records, the ledgers that many people have been wanting to see, and even his daily calendar. The investigation and continued document release is ongoing even as we speak.
Good. That's good.
And let me say this clearly.
But let's fucking get it out completely. Just let it all out, bro. The public can fucking deal.
As well. The bipartisan House Oversight Committee is already accomplishing what the discharge petition, that gambit, sought, and much more. The Epstein estate files that have been this new treasure trove, the third batch of information released right now, was not even included in the discharge petition. Didn't even think of it. And again, the investigation is bipartisan, it's nonstop, and it's far broader in scope than what is covered by the discharge petition, and has already yielded significant results. Unfortunately, some Democrats, and sadly even a couple of Republicans, have tried to make this a political issue. And they seem to be more interested in trying somehow to lay a glove on the president than in securing justice for these victims, and I think that is shameful. But as Chairman Comer will tell you, the work of the bipartisan investigation continues, and we brought him here to share with you some of those thoughts. Chairman Comer, thank you for your hard work.
Well, I'm actually glad that we got to hear about him speak on the Epstein files there.
Work, and take it away. Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to listen to the rest of their banter. We'll go ahead and end that there. Let's go ahead and figure out who is live right now, and we can send you guys over on a raid too. Let's see who is live right now. Oh, Rob Knorr. Shit. Fucking Rob Knorr. You guys go over there. He's probably going to be talking about some of the, probably something regarding the government, some political speech. So go ahead and listen to him. Let him know we're coming through with the Mike Ball raid, though. Let him stick around for it, and let him know, hey, we're coming from Mike Ball, and we're having we're coming in hot. You know what I mean? So, all right. Much love, honor, respect to everybody. Thank you all so much for making these very shows happen. I can't do this shit without you guys. We'll be back tomorrow morning for more of the world's madness as we continue down our truth-seeking adventure here. But I always very much appreciate everybody, man. So, all right. Much love, honor, respect to everybody, and we'll see you guys very soon. Much love. And God bless.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart steel and a spirit unbroken, he rides on two wheels ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow, he takes his stand, refusing to submit.